All right, guys, welcome back to Above Ground World News. We're reporting from FEMA Region 7. We got a lot of dots to connect tonight. Man, it just gets worse every day. But I wanted to go over a couple articles, then I got a bombshell video to show you how on Fox News last year before the fires started, they admitted that there was a laser weapon used, and we'll get into that here in just a minute. I want to make sure everybody's in here, and we're all going in. Welcome in. Much love to the mods out there, all the new people. Thanks to High Impact Fix, I guess he sent a lot of people over here, so hopefully we can keep on fighting, keep on trying to find what's really going on. I mean, if you listen to the mainstream narrative, that's exactly what it is, a narrative. It's not the truth. It's part of an agenda. And hopefully we can try to uncover some of these agendas, which we know what the end games are, and it's not good for anybody. But they deployed these smart meters. Let me get back on the right scene. They deployed these smart meters in 2016. This is a $70 million project. I mean, that's a lot of money. And then everything I'm going to show you here, I'm not going to go all deep into this because we got so much stuff to get into. But these are just some of the dots that we need to look at. Then, this is crazy right here. September 21st, 2018. Your utility bill could reflect fire cost under new California law. Well, this bill 901, basically what it does is it lets these PG&E and these other utility companies off the hook for most of any fires they cause. But it goes back to the taxpayer. You're actually going to pay them to burn the towns down. This is just how crazy and satanic these people are. Here's another article on it. They're talking a lot about how the mismanaged forests are. There's 129 million dead trees out there. I burn my property off 2 times a year. Just for this thing. I mean, if they have fires every single year, how come they don't build the houses with roofs that don't catch on fire? Well, you got to go back to these smart meters. These things are blowing up too. But I put all these links if you want to read all this information into the should be into the video description. And once I get some of these closed down a little bit here, we're going to play that video for you. Oh, yeah, here's another article before we go any farther. This is out of Maryland. It's called the Red Flag Law. And what they're going to do, they can come in and take your gun. They can, can't remember how they worded this, but basically they can say that you got PSD or you're unstable. They can come up with any excuse they want and just come take your gun. Well, they tried to take this old guy, 61-year-old guy's gun, and end up killing him. And this is going to be coming to a city near you. If our weapons get took away, we have no way to fight these guys. So just keep that in mind. They'll call everybody, that they can take your gun if they think you're a conspiracy theorist. They can just make up any reason they want and come take your firearms, and that's one thing that we cannot let happen. So hey, welcome in, Dags. I can't see you, but welcome in. Everybody out there, welcome in. We're gonna jump in. Let me mute my mic and I'm gonna show you this clip. This is mind-blowing.
Stuff of science fiction, right? Sound completely unbelievable. How could our military possibly be using those in future warfare? Guess what? We've just had a recent breakthrough, more great test results that are making lasers a reality. So it's called Athena. Lockheed Martin makes it, and they've been doing a lot of the pioneering in this laser field. Now what's really exciting about it is that it's so hard to harness that much power and make it compact enough that's actually going to make practical sense downrange. And they've proven that they can do that. Recently, they tested it against 5 moving drones, so realistic drones that they might go up against with, enemy forces might send against us, for example, or terrorists might send against us. And it successfully shot down all 5 of the drones. This is huge news because it means that in a realistic, practical setting, it's looking very promising. So it could be ready to field quite soon. So when you see the movies or you look at comic books or television shows, when you see laser weapons, they tend to be a color, right? Red or green or something like that. Real lasers, one of the key advantages that they provide is that they are invisible. You actually can't see them. You just see this damage suddenly starting to blow something up. So if we take a look now at what the Athena did to a truck. So we're looking at a truck engine, and the Athena within seconds was able to beam right in there, heat the whole thing up, and burn through the engine of this vehicle. So if you can imagine if you were in that vehicle, all of a sudden this hole would start appearing in your engine and the whole thing would just disappear. That's what these lasers do. Now there's some other key advantages that we should mention. Let me give you 3 of them. 1, unlimited ammo. As long as we have power, we have an unlimited magazine. And downrange, of course, having unlimited ammo can be a huge advantage. Second, it's silent. We don't give the enemy any advance warning that it's coming. And then the third one I wanted to touch on is that it travels at the speed of light. So not only are we delivering powerful, decisive effects, lethality, we're also doing it so rapidly they don't know what hit them. So if you could circle back to that example of being in the car again, that would happen so instantaneously, within seconds, you truly would have no idea what was happening. It would just suddenly start disintegrating, right? So what can we use these against? So we talked about the vehicle a bit. We talked about how Athena has just proven itself against drones. But in the real world application, our forces could use it against the drones. We could use it against aircraft. We could use it against vehicles on the ground, like we mentioned. We could also use it against fast attack boats. And in fact, Athena's sibling stuff.
So I think I've got the video link down in the description for the full-length video on that. I just happened to stumble across that right before I come online. But there you go. Does any of that sound familiar with what's going on right now? Invisible weapons. They don't know what's hitting them. Instantaneously melting holes through stuff. Sounds just like what that Fox News lady was explaining. So, yeah, let's take a look here at the latest map and get the stats for the poor people out here. Now we're at 109,000 acres, 25% contained, 23 deaths, 3 firefighters injured, 15,000 structures, 6,453 homes lost, 260 commercial buildings. That's just on one fire. Let's go on down, check the other. There's fires going on everywhere, but there ain't no fires like these other than right here. And the excuse of the wind. See, here's another thing. I had a lot of comments tell me, well, that wind come from nowhere. It was windy. It was windy all night. Well, what causes wind? Heat causes wind. You heat up the atmosphere, you heat up the ionosphere, you heat up the troposphere. That's how you get the wind. We looked at the wind models. There was no wind other than in that area. So that's just more proof that some kind of weapon was used. And we're going to keep on digging and find this. And we still can't rule out, too, that there could be seismic issues here. There could be, poisonous gases leaking out around this area from all the fracking. I did have a couple other articles on that. So here we are at the Woolsey fire. 83,275 acres burned, 10% containment, 2 deaths, 57,000 structured, 177 buildings destroyed. And wait, there's another one, the Hill fire, 4,531 acres, 70% contained, 400 structures threatened, 2 buildings destroyed. So, with all this, and then you put in all the agendas and all, like I said, all the how all the smart meters and all that's all related. All the bills they just passed. It's pretty funny how they pass a bill, and the very thing they pass a bill for happens a month later or so. So that's how they work. They're going to keep on destroying this. I mean, right now, you better get out. To me, you should get out now, try to get away from the coast. I mean, that's what they want us to do. There's no way you're going to get everybody on the coast to fight for what's right. They're all, they've all been too programmed. You know, they're all evil, most of them. Not all of them. I got a sister that lives over there. It's not evil, but it's the, not the ordinary people. It's the, wow, I want to stay where I want it. Anyway, we're looking at the, trying to look at the air quality map. So, I mean, on top of the fires, you got these carcinogens flying around. And this is going to be long-term effects. I mean, we look at the worldview. Let me go ahead and get out of this. And welcome in, everybody. Hopefully my voice will stay together long enough to get through this. Yeah, the normal people. That's the thing about live, man. I misspeak all the time, so you just got to bear with me. So let me make sure we're on the right date. We're going to jump into worldview map. We're going to check out some of the spots that they're getting just completely waxed. But I did want to check what I want to check here. Well, we'll come back to that. Let's jump to the mimic real quick. Here we are looking at the mimic map. This is the morph microwave imagery. And we can see some beams going on. We got some beam action coming out off of Antarctica, shooting right up to the left, to the west side of the Hawaiian there, the Hawaiian Islands. And one thing you got to notice on this, make sure I got it all squared up good so you can see the whole map. In fact, let me go to the Mimic 2. Maybe we can see this better. Let me get it started here. When you look at these, this is the atmospheric river. This is the water up at the troposphere. There's several companies that can steer this water. And what you notice, every one of these little river arms, they all flow and kind of snap to the east. Every one of them but one. The one that gets sucked up towards the Harper Ray up in Alaska, they never let it get past Oregon. I mean, they'll just blow it around. We have the beam that's coming off Antarctica. Coming up to the left, we have a 90-degree angle on this water vapor. That's not possible in nature. A perfect square. It's just not possible. So let's jump back over here where this beam's being shot out, and we probably won't be able to tell how we can see another little wave. I'm going to zoom in on this if I can so you guys can see what I'm seeing. Might take this a minute to load. And now we're not going to be able to see that beam shooting off, but there is a different anomaly right here. See that arc? There was an arc right there. I'll get my mouse out of the way as it scrolls through. In fact, let me maybe zoom in a little more. So it's like they have, there it is right there, right at the beginning of the frame. And it blows apart this little low pressure system. Because we can't have no low pressure blowing the moisture over to California. That would put the fires out. So definitely manipulation. That's coming all the way from HARP being beamed down to Antarctica to the VLF transmitters and then bounce back up here through low frequencies. And then it affects all the water vapor. So that's why we're not getting any moisture on California. They have a high pressure system parked over here, and they will not let this atmospheric river get to it. I mean, they stop it at all cost. Usually they can pretty much do it with the NEXRADs and the VLF waves and the Star Wars, all their Doppler stations down here. But yeah. We go ahead and get unzoomed here, and we'll get back to the full picture. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think a good respirator might help. Um, yeah, you don't want to be breathing that stuff. It's carcinogens. It's horrible for you. It's horrible for your pets. Like I said, if you have any way to just get away from there, that's what I would do, or at least try to do. I mean, that's really your only options. They're going to keep on doing these things until they get everybody away from where they want them. I mean, how many people have been displaced in the last 2 years in California? I mean, it's probably astronomical how many people have lost their homes. You know, if your government actually took care of you, they would build houses that wouldn't incinerate. You know, the trees aren't burning. They seem to still be standing, but all the houses are gone. So definitely a mega war against the people for sure. So let's go ahead and jump out of these. Let's go ahead and jump into the worldview for a little bit. I haven't been able to do a whole lot of the weather warfare, but we'll just cover a couple areas. And one of the first places we're going to take a quick look at is Romania. They're getting bombarded with a mass spraying operation. I kind of glanced over all these earlier before we jumped on. Just mass bombarded. These are not contrails. These are all the aerosols for seeding the clouds. You know, depending on what they're wanting. If they want to make it rain, or if they want to dry the rain out, they can do it all. And like always, they're getting bombarded up here in the UK. I mean, look at the weird colors on them synthetic clouds. Hopefully that's coming in for you. And everywhere else over here is pretty much too cloud covered. The Netherlands, they're always getting bombarded like every single day. And Iceland's definitely getting hit. It's not going to load real good yet. Let's go ahead and get on over to the United States. And probably the most sprayed place on the planet right now is Florida, Georgia. I mean, look at this toxic stuff. You know, most of these flight paths, they won't come out on the flight tracker. These are military planes, military drones. And, you know, and it's not always the trails coming out of the planes. It's partly the exhaust. The biofuels that they use have the same heavy metals in them, just like the ships. The ship tracks, them are the most environmental, you know, catastrophes from, you know, emissions that are coming out of any kind of vehicle on the planet. Oh, and that reminded me when I was talking about these fires and how they want you to, you know, the UN climate agenda and the climate change agenda, how your taxes are going to end up paying for these fires. Also, man, I'm probably going to lose my train of thought. Dang it. There was something else I was going to tell you about that. What was it? Dang, I totally lost it. Anyway, we'll come back to that thought. So we're just kind of going around. We got a spraying operation way up here. Look at this. Yeah, that's pretty weird there. So we got a big time operation up here in Iowa, North Missouri, Chicago. You know, tons of cloud seeding going on, getting set up for this rain and snow that's coming in over the next day. You know, these last two cold spells and these rain events, we predicted these like almost 21 days ago using the GF models and looking at the weather modifications. I did notice I downloaded a bunch of really good images of this stuff, but I couldn't get it processed in time to show it tonight. And yeah, I got there was some crazy boat tracks going on out here. Hold on, I gotta get a drink. So when we look at this over here, this in no way is a regular forest fire. I mean, you can see the regular forest fires up here. This is what they look like. These fires have been going on for weeks up here. You know, oh, we got a mass spraying operation up here in Washington. Look at that. These are all synthetic clouds. Mega dumps. Mega dumps. Let's click the layer on that. See, they're setting up for the next system. You can't hide from this stuff. They don't ask your permission to spray all this stuff out. We got enough, you know, all this particles from this fire, just this one fire, is more emissions than the whole every car, every power plant, everything in the California for the whole year. So to blame stuff on climate, or to blame it on man, and then make you pay more taxes for their mistakes. Yeah, pretty crazy. I wanted to go ahead and check the polar vortex winds. The polar vortex is getting ready to flip up to the north. See, it's really shrinking down, and it's all going to be up here. And then we got to watch them, how they manipulate the polar vortex winds. That's going to be what sends in the super cold air. This is the jet stream, and we document this all the time because they steer these ridges. You can pretty much tell everywhere this jet stream's going is where the spraying operations are. Yeah, you can also tell with the, let's take a quick look at the carbon monoxide on the surface. So it's still looking pretty bad out here. Let's go check China. I mean, look at India and China. They're like this 24/7. I mean, they get way worse, and they don't have fires going. This is the air that they have to breathe from their government. So if you think things are going to get better, they're not, unless you stand up and do something about it. Check out the carbon dioxide concentration, very high levels. Let's go ahead and check the sulfur dioxide. Now this, you can actually see the ship track pass. You know, these ships that are using bunker fuel, this model can pick up. That's what all these straight lines are. These are ship tracks. That's pollution from the ships. And we'll check the particulates. There's all the dust in the air getting fed up. We'll check out the particle matter. These are all carcinogens. You don't want to have nothing to do with these things. These are the 1 micron. These are really little. And we got the 2.5 microns. Then all the way up to the PM10s. So this is really bad for you. So this is what the air really is looking like out here. You know, and it's going to get sucked up into the troughs and blew back down. The whole country is going to start getting headaches, and you know, the same problems they're having in California right now. It's going to expand across the whole United States and probably all the way out across the ocean. I mean, they got a tons of stuff going on over here. So a lot of this is from volcanic activity too, like that right there. That's why you got to wonder, you know, with all the fracking going on over here, you know, what could they be doing? How bad could it get from what they're doing? Just more stuff to think about. Let's go ahead and jump into the tropical tidbits real quick, and then we'll jump into the GOES 16. We'll go ahead and check the forecast models, just see what kind of weather we got coming in. All right, so we're just going to kind of scroll through here. Just that way we're going to be able to see the wind flows. There's a really freaky system coming up that I need to show you guys because I don't even know what to make of it. All right, so that's all pretty normal stuff. Let me change this to, hopefully I can remember which model it was. Is it this one? No, it wasn't that one. Yeah, there's a freaky like heat wave that's coming, man. It is freaky. Let me get back on the GFS for a minute. Wow, why did my model get All right, give me a second here. That's what sucks about doing I meant to reload this thing. All right, hopefully I can find this for you guys. This is pretty crazy. Where was that? Maybe it was the temperature anomalies. Yeah, there's a crazy like heat wave that's gonna jump out over the Arctic. Let me see if this is it. Yeah, this kind of looks like this is it. Now look at the heat after all this cold air we're getting. I mean, this looks like look at the hot up in the north. This is an anomaly for sure. Look at that heat that's going to be overtaking and then trapping all the polar air all the way down in the Gulf of Mexico. I mean, what the hell is this? Now, this is some crazy stuff right here. So we're going to be keeping our eye on that. That is pretty crazy. So let's go ahead and jump over to the next reds. Yeah, it's a 100% land grab. I mean, they're making way for the changes that they want to make. You know, the EPA, man, they're all in on it, man. They're part of it. They're not who you think they are. Oh, hey, thanks there, High Impact. Much love. Yeah, I just found your channel. I'll get caught up on some of your videos, man. Thanks. Oh yeah, we're gonna go to the College of DeBry page. Oh yeah, I wouldn't doubt there was drones. All them flashes I showed you. Let me see if I still got that scene on here.
Stuff of science fiction, right? Sound completely unbelievable. How could our military stuff of science fiction, right? Sound
well, we got a lot of people here. Let's play this clip again. Why try to find the other one?
How could our military possibly be using those in future warfare? Guess what? We've just had a recent breakthrough, more great test results that are making lasers a reality. So it's called Athena. Lockheed Martin makes it, and they've been doing a lot of the pioneering in this laser field. Now, what's really exciting about it is that it's so hard to harness that much power and make it compact enough that's actually going to make practical sense downrange. And they've proven that they can do that. Recently, they tested it against 5 moving drones, so realistic drones that they might go up against with, enemy forces might send against us, for example, or terrorists might send against us. And it successfully shot down all 5 of the drones. This is huge news because it means that in a realistic, practical setting, it's looking very promising. So it could be ready to field quite soon. So when you see the movies or you look at comic books or television shows, when you see the laser weapons, they tend to be a color, right? Red or green or something like that. Real lasers, one of the key advantages that they provide is that they are invisible. You actually can't see them. You just see this damage suddenly starting to blow something up. So if we take a look now at what the Athena did to a truck. So we're looking at a truck engine, and the Athena within seconds was able to beam right in there, heat the whole thing up, and burn through the engine of this vehicle. So imagine if you were in that vehicle, all of a sudden, this hole would start appearing in your engine, and the whole thing would just disappear. That's what these lasers do. Now, there's some other key advantages that we should mention. Let me give you 3 of them. 1, unlimited ammo. As long as we have power, we have an unlimited magazine. And downrange, of course, having unlimited ammo can be a huge advantage. Second, it's silent. We don't give the enemy any advance warning that it's coming. And then the third one I wanted to touch on is that it travels at the speed of light. So not only are we delivering powerful, decisive effects, lethality, we're also doing it so rapidly they don't know what hit them. So if you could circle back to that example of being in the car again, that would happen so instantaneously, within seconds, you truly would have no idea what was happening. It would just suddenly start disintegrating, right? So what can we use these against? So we talked about the vehicle a bit. We talked about how Athena has just proven itself against drones. But in the real world application, our forces could use it against the drones. We could use it against aircraft. We could use it against vehicles on the ground, like we mentioned. We could also use it against fast attack boats. And in fact,
And they could use it against the American people. If they want your land and there's no way to get your land, they'll tell you, hey, thanks there, guy. You guys don't know how much that helps. Like, you don't even know. So one day I'll do a video about that. Anyway, so in this footage that I'm running, this is one of the videos I did a couple days ago. Now you're going to see a bunch of flashes whenever it gets to that point. Right now, this is kind of showing the blast wave. But when it gets to them flashes, I kind of think there might be drones that were flying around there before and after the fire, or they might have been helicopters, but whatever they were flying around before the fire started. So just another little nugget that we got to look at. I mean, we're going to be having to investigate this for weeks to actually find out exactly what happened, try to sift through all the propaganda and, you know, all the crazy stuff going on here. So just letting that kind of run through till we get to that point. Here's all the carbon monoxide that's spewing out of the earth. A lot of this from the fracking. Yeah, it's all the stuff. Now, if I can find it, I'm just letting that run through here. I'm going to be looking for something here. If I can get there. Yeah, that's a really good footage. Now, I tried to download from 2 days before of what you're looking at right now, and I left it running, and I fell asleep last night, and it used 30 gigabytes of my data plan. I just went through a whole month's data plan in like 6 hours. I mean, it's ridiculous when you live out in the middle of nowhere how they rip you off if you're trying to make videos. It's crazy. So I'm trying to find something here while that is running, and it's something that happened a couple years ago that we covered. So there was something definitely that flew up out of that thing, man. It's come on, Kate. Oh, okay. So I'm almost getting there. Let me change the scene, let you see something else while I'm trying to get this going here. All right, now we're ready. All right, guys, here's a video I did back on February 27th about a major carbon monoxide explosion that happened on the West Coast. I'm going to let this run through. Now, this actually happened, and this even got a response from NASA. All the mainstream were trying to troll me, and you know, I went back and forth with NASA that this happened. They tried to say it was a glitch in the satellite, but what really happened, this really happened. Then after I made another video, I found the European model satellite, completely different satellite, picked this up, and NASA took down their response. But look at this mass carbon monoxide explosion that happened back on February 24th, or 26th. Yeah, February 26, 2016. People were getting sick from this, and they kept ahead. They did everything they could to hide my video. They tried to do the meta bunk, and the mainstream was trying to hit me, but every one of them was wrong. They all used the wrong dates. And then eventually, the people that run this program, they went in and deleted the data. Now, why would you go back and delete data? Anyway, I got it all documented. This happened. We have the European models that prove it. That's why some of these fires, I get to wonder, what are they doing when they're fracking this whole coast? Now they're starting to frack up into Yellowstone. I mean, that scares the crap out of me. So much love. Hey, thanks there, Kaz. Thanks much. Love. All right, so let's jump in and take a look at a few next rad stations, see if we got any kind of action going on these things. Which we almost do. We try to do a series called Weather Warfare. I try to do it nightly, and we were pretty steady until all this stuff happened, and kind of been stuck trying to find the answers on this stuff. But hopefully shortly we can get back into documenting all these, because we find stuff every day. We find them using low frequencies, high frequencies. Hey, much love out there, guys. Let's go ahead and zoom in on the California next rads and see what we find. All right, let's go ahead and start out right where the fire started. Wonder if this next rad's even working, because it's right in the middle of the fire. Let's go ahead and go 200 images. And it might take just a minute to load. Get this going here. So I don't know how long my voice is going to hold out, but we'll go as long as we can here. Yeah, so this is the next red that's right in the fire. Hopefully it's still showing that flume. We'll give it a shot here. So it looks like it may not show the flume anymore. We can't load it back far enough. Yeah, see how these things pulse out? These are not birds. The mainstream media will try to tell you these are birds, and they're not. In fact, I made a pretty funny video on all the outtakes that I found about them calling these low frequency signals birds or ELF waves, or depending on what they're using. Man, thanks a lot, guys. You guys are going to get us internet the rest of the month for sure. So let's go ahead and check another radar. We'll just kind of go around here, just kind of see if we spot any kind of crazy stuff. What we do know is what the mainstream's telling us is just an agenda. It's not the real story. I mean, like I said, we're going to be digging in this for a while, trying to get to the bottom of the real thing. So hopefully this will load. So this radar right here, we've seen this thing do some military option. Now, this might be a fire right here. We'll let that keep loading. So just going to let that run through for a second. Trying to get this going here. So we have caught this one doing military operations, keeping the rain off the bay. Yeah, this is a fire right here in the top. If you can see that, that's a fire. The red down here at the bottom, that's picking up some kind of heat signature. Who knows what it is? It's not a fire, but you notice everything gets sucked towards the next rad. That's because it's sending and transmitting frequencies. Go ahead and check the base reflectivity. Hopefully this will load. Yeah, my voice is starting to go here. Yeah, hey, high impact. Hey, thanks for helping us out. Thanks everybody out there in the super chat, man. Much love. Like I said, I come up here a little bit ago and I didn't have any internet left, and I just paid $179 for 30 gigs, and it was gone this morning. So much love. That's going to definitely help us keep going. I'm just like everybody else out there. I work from check to check, just like everybody. So we're all battling the dark side here. All right, let's go down here where the other fires are going, see if we can spot anything. I'm surprised these next rads are still working. They won't let them burn. That's for sure. Yeah, my sister's up there in Northern California too. Hopefully she'll get the heck out of there. Yeah, this thing's really loading slow right now. All right, so we can see on this next rad, it's a completely different signatures. It's almost communicating out here with the islands. But yeah, they got this one just set on a super low buzz tail right there. What's that? What's going on with that? These aren't birds. This is manipulation. Small scale, but definitely manipulation. Watch this thing it's emanating its own rain returns. Yeah, some crazy stuff right there. Check one more thing here to see what we catch here. This is the next rad down in Southern California by the Woolly Fire. And we're just checking it. These things, I got a little video thing here. If I can find it. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to get to it, I don't think. Yeah, I can't get to it right now. It was actually in the intro. It was that little next rad that was showing you how a standard next rad works, and it's showing the pulse wave, the pulse beam. Just kind of letting that run through. You see everything gets sucked right towards the center. Yeah, and then that's just some crazy stuff. Okay, we're going to check one more, and then we'll probably have to jump off here because my voice is going. I'm not going to be able to talk much longer. Yeah, and much love out there for helping us get this information out. I've tried to send big channels, links, say, hey, man, take a look at this. This is some important information. We need to get it out. And I've had a few help me out, but most of them just ignore you. So it's awesome having another channel out there that's willing to get this information out, man. That's what it's about. So much love and thanks for sure. So this one here isn't beaming out like it normally is. So they've corrected, or they just have it turned down. We're just going to let this run through for a second, because Now, if you guys really watch these and you watch them, you know, through weeks and stuff, you can see that the next rads affect the rain. I mean, sometimes it sucks it right into it. Sometimes it'll make it dissipate depending on how high they get this thing turned up. Now, this next rad usually is beaming out everywhere. Let me go ahead and put the base reflectivity on there. Yeah, pretty crazy they haven't hit Hollywood. You know, they never do. So here we're catching this little purple beam that's shooting out. That's called searchlight mode, and this one's actually working pretty standard. When you have these beams shooting out of these next rads, they're supposed to only last 5 to 7 minutes. But if they're running for hours at a time, which we spot all the time, they're affecting the atmosphere. They're heating up the atmosphere with frequencies. And like I said, it's called searchlight mode. It's supposed to be a diagnostic deal, and there's regulations on how long they can run these beams. So if your local meteorologist tells you these beams are like from the sun or some nonsense like that, tell me you better read the instruction manual on these next rads. So anyway, guys, I am losing my voice, man. So I'm going to probably have to jump off here. I will be back here tomorrow night. I want to thank High Impact Blogs for bringing out all your great guys out there. Much love. I'll be jumping into some of your work, checking it all out. Thanks to everybody, the new people out there. Much love. And hopefully I get my voice back in. So much love, guys. Much appreciated. We'll keep on fighting the good fight. God bless.